Fear. The feeling that makes us stop dead in our tracks. The feeling that makes us threatened, wanting to run or fight back. We all have fears, some more unique than others. For me, it's the fear of not being good enough, wondering what others will think of me, or taking the next step in life. I feel held back by the fear that keeps me from feeling confident or motivated, that keeps me from expressing myself and the gifts I have to share. I want to reignite my motivation and passion for creativity and stop letting the stress and fear to try new things get the better of me. So for the next 3 days, I'm taking a solo in the deep woods of nature, without social media, video games, or any other form of distraction, escape, or comfort. Just me. Alright, let's do this. Beautiful mountains, here I come. Alright, I have arrived now after about an hour of driving into the beautiful Rocky Mountains. This is where I'm going to be spending my next 3 days, in the middle of the quiet national forest. It is so beautiful up here, but before I get all unpacked, I'm gonna set up my trusty little camping chair and do a quick meditation to recenter myself. Just came back from jury duty yesterday and had a busy week, and I would love to take a moment of silence to regroup and be able to take in the most of this experience. Okay, feeling energized for this now. Time to unpack. So I know you guys like to know what I bring on these trips, so the quick gear list is some wood, in case I don't find enough lying on the ground to have a few fires. I have a cooler with some simple food in it for the next 3 days, a 7-gallon jug of water, my sleeping bag, my camp stove, and a few extra tools for chopping wood and such for the fire, as well as dishes, toiletries, and last but not least, the beautiful camp kitchen that I love so much that you guys have seen in a few of my previous videos. This thing is just very practical and allows for a nice space to prep the food and put the big water jug. I'm all set up now. Suppose I should take a minute to think about what I'm gonna do for the rest of this day, to be honest. I'm not really sure just yet. For the first day, I mostly just sat in silence and journaled a little, feeling just how small I was amidst the vast mountains of wilderness. As evening came along, I started hearing strange animal sounds and distant gunshots from the hunters echoing through the hills. I started to think twice about my decision to come here all by myself, and wondered if I'd really be able to stick with it for 3 days. I just heard a loud scream coming from over there somewhere, probably a ways away. I think it's just someone going a bit crazy. You get that sometimes out here in the middle of the woods with homeless people camping and such. So I just hope they're okay. I hope I'm okay. I'm definitely starting to feel a little nervous. Alright, well, it's been a very peaceful and quiet day. So quiet that I feel like I have to talk softly because the trees are listening to me. I think a good word to kind of sum up today is awareness. I feel very aware of my thoughts, my feelings, my surroundings. I feel like I'm being eaten by trees. There's so many of them and they're all so tall. But speaking of eating, I'm pretty hungry, so I think I'm gonna grab a little bite to eat for dinner, maybe make a cup of tea, and hit the sleeping bag for the night. Turkey sausage, rice cakes, and carrot sticks. It's pretty simple, but it'll work.
Good morning. It's now the morning of day 2. I slept pretty well last night, but I'm waking up again feeling a bit tempted to go home to everything. I'm realizing that I have a common pattern of waking up in the mornings and feeling a lot of doubt about the previous day and all of my ideas from the previous day. I feel like that's a very common pattern for me, and I'm waking up this morning feeling like this whole video idea is stupid, and it's not a healthy way to wake up. I should be doing the opposite in the mornings. I should be setting my intentions from the day, reflecting on my previous day, and using that creativity to further boost my next day. So, with that said, I really am committed to this challenge. I'm glad I can really realize that out here and recognize that that's a bad habit for me in my usual morning. So, without further ado, let's get some breakfast so that I can feel a little more woke up. Love oatmeal. So the plan for today is to go on a nice long hike away from the campsite to explore nature and all it has to offer, as well as maybe find some cool locations up above the trees to possibly watch the sunset or the sunrise. I would love it if the clouds would be cleared up like they are now, maybe this evening or tomorrow morning. So we'll see how the day goes.
Alright, we've potentially reached the best view I have ever seen in my life while standing on the ground. It literally feels like I'm flying in the air right now. I know you see a couple rocks behind me, but I'll turn you around so you can experience this amazing view of the mountains. On the way back from my adventure to the mountaintop, I was feeling quite the opposite of how I did the previous day. I felt much bigger and more confident, feeling like I was walking with the world rather than the world consuming me and making me feel small and alone. I felt like I could see in 100K resolution, noticing and appreciating everything nature had to offer. Even the smallest of things can be so beautiful. And it made me realize that even if I can't create the best, most perfect things, or express myself in the ideal way that I want to, I can still learn to enjoy what I can create, and appreciate what I have in the moment, and not be afraid to be imperfect or small sometimes. Alright, I'm back from my long adventure to the top of the mountain. That was so amazing. Such a cool day so far. But it's now softly raining outside, so I'm just going to wait it out here in the back of my truck until it stops. And if it does stop, I would love to make a fire in the little fire pit over there tonight. So hopefully it does. If not, it's pretty peaceful just sitting and relaxing in here. Alright, the rain has finally cleared, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get a fire going. Alright, it is now day 3, and I have to say, sitting by the fire and watching the stars late into the night last night felt so powerful. I feel like I literally could have sat there forever, and I did sit there for a long time, went to bed pretty late, but I'm up now. I finished a workout and a run, and I'm feeling super motivated. Total opposite of what I felt when I first came here. So I wanted to kind of take a moment to speak about my experience and how I feel now compared to how I felt coming into this, and how I have faced my fears in this experience for 3 days. So when I came here, I was obviously feeling pretty stressed, pretty burnt out, feeling like none of the ideas I had were good enough, feeling very demotivated, and felt like I had to talk super quietly because people were listening to me. I mean, I felt judged by the freaking woods. So that's, yeah, you can laugh at me all you want. I don't care. Now it feels quite different. I feel extremely empowered when I feel all caught up in the habba-jabba of life, that the nature here, the woods, myself will always be there for me if I ever need to come back and kind of do a reset for myself. You know, I surrounded myself in this particular environment to get away from social media, to get away from people, to get away from everything that was familiar and comfortable, because when I'm in an environment like this, it will really help me and help my experience in looking at myself from a bigger perspective. So if any of you are really looking to do an experience like this for yourselves, I would highly encourage it. And maybe the woods or nature is your thing, maybe getting out and doing some other adventurous thing, maybe traveling to a different country, any of these things that are unfamiliar and give us a sense of connection with ourselves on a much deeper level. Sometimes we need those things to kind of push us. You know, we need a stressful week at work. We need something that just pushes us a little over the edge, and rather than letting that kind of amp up our stress, we can turn that anger and stress and fear and things into motivation to actually go and do something about it. This is an interesting video. I've never done any video like this before. A lot of the camera shots and things were entirely brand new to me. I've never shot in low light before. I've never done a lot of things that I've done in this video, so forgive any of the imperfections, but I'm okay with that. I'm still gonna post it anyway and hopefully edit this into something that is really inspiring for you all to watch and get out there and do it for yourselves. So thank you so much for staying along on this journey with me. I am extremely grateful for this experience. I'm extremely grateful to nature for holding me in this experience, and I hope you all can get out there and do it for yourselves. See you in the next video.